Greetings, queens and kings. If you stopping by, welcome back to my channel. Now, listen, we are in the pursuit of truth. Now, do you really think that that's Zach's baby daddy? Do you think that he is the baby's daddy? Do you? Do you? Do you? If you do, you crazy, because I don't buy it. You think this is coincidental? With Hayden and Heather hooking up, all of a sudden, chain breakers, Zach name come up, he's taking the case, he's not even a family law attorney. I'm not buying it. Woo, a lot happened this episode. Let's get into it. Okay, now you have here a very uncomfortable situation with Dani. I'm sure, it's very vulnerable. She coming to her friend for help. She knows that her friend, had an issue with her, just putting herself out there with this one night stand, and now she was assaulted. And, the things that this man did to her and the position he put her in could be very scary. Now, she wanted, Andi wanted Fatima to stay because she knows her connections and she wanted her help. And she was really uncomfortable with that at first, but then she shared what happened with Fatima. Of course, Fatima was angry, but now they're trying to find information that Fatima can help with. So she finally thought about it and got the man's name, because she had to think about it at the airport when she put the information in. So here, Andi is really trying to tell her what, trying to pull out her, what she's going through to try to figure out this man's name and information. And she did. So she finally came up with it. And so Fatima is about to work her magic. Now, Andi is trying to console her and let her know, what's going on, because Fatima really wants to go in on this man. Like, he spit in your face. We need to handle this with this man, because what happened was, Fatima not trying to hear that kind of mess. And Dani likes how she thinks, right? Dani likes the fact that she basically wants to kill this Joker and take him out. And she's like, look, just say the word. And Andi like, no. She like, just let me know. Contact me and we'll deal with this. Because, especially after finding out that this man has done this to other women. He has multiple women. And this is why he did not want to call the police, talking about, she found out that he's in the hospital. He said it was a motorcycle accident or something happened to him. But he don't want to be put on Front Street. And if they would get all of these women together, I'm sure they could build a case against this man, because really he has to be stopped. Not just with Dani, but with other women. But I hope, this is something that Dani knows she has to put a stop to this destructive behavior and deal with the fact of what she needs to deal with. And that's her and Preston's relationship. And so she's really looking at Andi like, you really can't tell me nothing because of what you're going through with Gary, of course. So this is where now she found out that he has done this to other women. And this is a situation that has to be dealt with. So she's basically saying right here, call me. And she was like, yeah, girl, I'll call you. And even though, Andi said, listen, you go ahead to work. You work for me. We're not going to deal with this. Dani is like, keep Fatima, because old girl helped me and you supposed to be the lawyer and you did absolutely nothing. So deuces to you, girl. Fatima's my girl. So now here we got old Deja coming at Zach again to help. And I'm like, you haven't learned your lesson yet when it comes to Madam or Fatima, because you still at her man once again. He doesn't need your help, sis. But she's trying to warn her that you don't know your woman. She's out here in these streets, no ring, not acting like she's engaged. And, this girl is a killer. She is the cousin of a natural born killer. You don't know Madam. And he was like, listen, like, basically just mind your businesses. I don't need your help. Whatever. I don't know the situation is with the cousin, but I don't need these problems with you, Deja. You need to go somewhere. She was like, okay, well, you go ahead and be in jeopardy with your little girlfriend, but you need to know who you're dealing with. So she was like, what did you say madam look like again? She was like, short hair, curly hair, green, light eyes, or whatever. She gave the description. She was like, there she go. She's like looking around. Zach screaming like he's on the attack for a drive-by shooting or something. Old girl ran to her apartment, which you should have been running in the first beginning because you never should have been there. So Zach played his part and he got his bags and went in the house. That was really, really comical. Now we have Karen. Karen is going through her dilemma. You know, they had a really trying night with these letters. And of course, Aaron's going to be there by her side. The mom is constantly calling Aaron to check on her. Now, how we put in the comments how you feel about her mother trying to get Aaron to stay on top of her. Like, is that something you think mom should stay out of? What do you think about Aaron, period? So he's like, well, I'm going to be here for you. She's like, my girls got me. They coming over. He's basically saying your girls can't do with your feet like work your feet like I can. And she's like, oh, you got a point there. So he's like, okay, what you want to eat? I'm here to cook you dinner. So she goes on to talk to him about something that her mom told her about, as far as you can find a lot about a man with his phone. I don't know the obsession with us women and looking through a man's phone, but if you're looking for trouble, guess what? You're going to find it. So she wants to look at his phone. He had no problem giving it to her. So she's like, okay, what's the passcode? He gave it to her. So she's going through looking. And she basically wants him to leave because she picked something for him to cook that he didn't bring. And that was angel hair pasta. So, I know that was something to get rid of him. So he said, okay, I'm going to go get the pasta. She was like, here's your phone. He was like, you keep it. You go through it, knock yourself out. And she's like, whoa, like this is something that Zach would have never done. No, boo, you were a different man. Keep on snooping. See what you find. So now we have Dani. I'm sure she's still a little shook up, but she's talking to Preston. And she finally decided that they need to talk. And of course he's happy. I guess he's back home. He said, ain't nothing but a flight. You ain't said nothing but a word. I will be there later to meet with her so they could talk. So I'm glad she really, getting perspective of things and that this is a conversation they need to have. Now, old boy here is coming to work and she is not in a mindset to deal with him at all. He wanted to know what's wrong with her. And she's like, I guess her throat still hurt because this guy was after her. I think he did choke her. And she sees him at the airport. I don't care for Q. I'm sure like many of you out there don't. But this is one time when I'm glad Q was front and center. And he was like, no, he's a guy from the streets. You up here suffering. I don't want, I know you're nervous. What's up with this guy? She was like, nothing, trying to play it off. I guess she doesn't want him involved. And he sees, no, you're uncomfortable. I'm going to handle this guy because he looks a little creepy anyway. So she went over there and was like, why you here? Shook him up a little bit to let him know, he got old girl's back. And he's like, everything's okay. I'm here waiting for my son. He's coming off the plane. So Q was like, in other words, try something, bruh. And it's going to be on and popping. I have no problem going back to jail. I got this bracelet on. So Dani didn't like him doing that. But he said, she wanted to verify that his child was actually coming in. And she said, yeah. And he said, so he's telling the truth. I wanted him to do something so I could go back, get fired. And she's like, what's up with you? Like, why you want to get fired? And he's basically telling her, I just got this job for certain reasons. I need it, but I really don't want to be here. So now Karen's on the phone with Andi, letting her know that, old boy left his phone. And she's like, oh, really? Okay, he left his phone? And yeah, I'm going through it. And she's like, what do you see? And it's like nothing. So Andi's like, okay, you don't find anything. Maybe there's nothing to be found. Like, stop looking for negativity on this man if he hasn't given you a reason not to trust him. If you're going to be with him, then just be with him. Start slow and go ahead with it. But stop looking for the same problems that you had with the ex. And many times we do that. We put somebody in the same category that they don't deserve. instead of giving them the benefit of the doubt. So she decided, to listen to Andi, and maybe she should just chill and leave that alone. Now here it's the end of the night, and we have our girl Fatima, and she is like, leaving work with Andi, and she sees old girl. Now, if you do not think that this is a total setup, she wasn't really shocked. Put in the comments what you thought about this. She didn't look shocked to me that Fatima worked at that office. And she's there, Heather, to meet with her lawyer. And this is basically to take Zach to the cleaner. So Hayden comes in, tells old girl, who's absolutely, act like she not working with a full 6-pack. She don't even, couldn't understand his name, how to spell it or nothing. Basically telling her, wait in my office. And Hayden explaining to her how he just so happened at Chain Breakers to know a guy who knows Heather, has a friend that's a stripper, who's happened to be Heather, trying to get her baby's daddy, I guess, some money from him and take him to court. And just so happened it's Hayden. That's no coincidence to me. It's no coincidence. And I wanted to come out that Zach is not the father. So, of course, Fatima wants to wring him around the neck. And she really hates the fact that Hayden is now involved with this situation. So, to be continued with that drama. Now, finally, our girls are in here with, in court with, not in court, at the jail with Sabrina. Poor thing. They told her, we're really here for you. And we're working to get you out of here. And they had to pretend, that they're criminal attorneys, even though she isn't. And Dani is her paralegal. So she's, trying to tell her to relax. We're working on it. She doesn't even know why she's there. And Dani wants her to tell the truth, like about it. And she told her, just come out with the truth, Andi. And she finally let her know that they heard Maurice on a recording saying that them two had to do something with that bank robbery. And she cannot believe this. Like, her life is flashing before her eyes. But with trying to deal with this trauma, why they couldn't give sis a pick to work that hair like, Donna, Tabitha Brown's Donna, and get that fro together. She has beautiful hair. Give a sister a comb, will you? But anyway, I digress. Now here this prosecutor comes in to get Andi. And lo and behold, this man is the husband to the wife Andi represented. At first she didn't remember him. Then he had to make her remember. And now he is on a vendetta to deal with her and her friend. He knows that she's not a criminal attorney. He said, if you don't get up out of here, I'm going to bring you and your friend up on charges because you don't have anything to do with this case. You're in family law. And your girl is basically looking at 30 years. Hey, that's life. You might as well say life. And he is going to work hard to do it just to screw over Andi. And they're gonna have to do something. We need Fatima, we need Madam, we need somebody to work their magic. But this guy is looking to have Sabrina rot in jail. I can't stand it. So please, fam, what did you think about this episode? Do you think this is a whole setup from the door with Hayden and Heather and this whole baby daddy situation? And will our girl ever get out of jail? And who will come to the rescue? Oh, I hope they hurry. Until next time, fam. Stay authentically you and live the life you deserve. Click subscribe, like, share with your friends, comment, and let's get into this episode. Talk to you soon. Peace.